Today on TyNance, let's talk about dividends. Before we begin, please read the disclaimer in the description, as this is not financial advice. My goal with dividends is being able to live off 50% of the dividends received while reinvesting the other 50%. Investing in dividend stocks right now is not my main priority. More on that later on in the video. Let me explain my goal to you using the following example. The account value is $1.2 million with a dividend yield of 5%. This results in 60,000 in dividends each year and 5,000 in dividends each month. Let's say you earn 5,000 from dividend each month and you use 2,500 to live from, so you use that as income to do your groceries and all your other expenses, and you reinvest the other 2,500, which eventually, after 1 year, without fluctuations, so without losses in the account or without gains in the account value will be 1,230,000. So even though you live off the dividends, this way you're still able to increase the account value even without gains. So in this way, your income keeps going up and your account value goes up as well. So each year you have more to spend, but still your account value is growing each year. I already told you that investing in dividend stocks is not my main priority, and that is for several reasons. One of these is yield traps. If you buy a company that pays a dividend yield of 8% each year, and the company fundamentally has some issues which leads to not being able to increase the dividend or even need to cut the dividend, which is my second reason, then there is a chance that you don't make any gains on the stock because you fell for the dividend yield trap. You liked the 8% so much that you invested into the stock without fundamentally analyzing the stock for weaknesses. And so this is a big risk for investing in dividend stocks. And one more thing that I don't like either about dividend investing is that you can miss out on growth. For example, I invested in Hims and Hers, Palantir, Shopify, Tesla, SoFi, and I made hundreds of percentage of gains on these stocks. And if I would have just bought a dividend stock, a boring dividend stock, which pays 4 or 5% a year, I would have made much less gains and profits than I would if I did not invest in these growth stocks. So maybe if you get older and you just want to rely on the income, if I get close to my goal, which I stated before, for example, then there's a really good, or it could be a really good idea to invest more into these dividend stocks to provide you with a monthly income. But if you are not at that point yet and you are still young, then it's probably better to keep on investing in good growing companies and don't look for high yielding companies that are not able to grow their stock price and their dividend as fast as the growth stocks. I do track my dividends, as you can see in this overview. I do have a lot of companies, or a bunch of companies at least, that do pay out a dividend, some higher dividend yields than others. And Verizon is one that I am thinking about selling, especially if another opportunity arises. I bought Verizon when I was not really aware of the risk of high dividend yield companies, and one of the reasons I bought it was because of the dividend yield, which in my current strategy is not the way to go. So maybe I will sell Verizon if I see another good growth opportunity in a stock which I believe can appreciate in value. So not investing by just the dividend yield from the stock. If you look at this overview, I receive after taxes $59 a month, which is nice to have. It's not near my goal or the example that I said in the video before, but it's all about seeing growth. And by selling Verizon, for example, which is my highest dividend payer, this would in the short term cause my dividend that I get paid out each month to decline. And even though it's sad to see and you don't like to see your monthly income of dividends go down, for me it's all about the long term. And sometimes you just have to make some short term losses or decisions and cuts to increase your potential or growth over the long term. So I'm not really worried about my dividend each month going down right now. I do track my dividends received since I started investing in 2021, and I almost did not receive any dividends in 2021, so I ended the year with a total return of $21.80 in dividends. And in the second year that I was investing in 2022, the number got up, but only to $26.74. My account value back then in the first 2 years was really low, and the market was only going down in 2022. So, because my account value was really low and I was more investing in growth stocks than in dividend stocks, I was not receiving any dividends. Then in 2023, dividend stocks started to seem more compelling to me from a valuation perspective. So that's why I started buying a lot of them, and I also made the mistakes of buying some of these yield traps and companies that did dividend cuts, which I talked about earlier on in the video. But my dividend payouts rise really fast through 2023, and so I more than 15x or even more the amount of 2022, and I ended the year with dividends received of $488.99, which was yeah, that's some good money to me. So in 2024, I started buying some more dividend stocks, but I also sold some of the dividend stocks that were not really aligning with my strategy anymore. So some of these companies that did dividend cuts or were too high yielders, I dumped those and converted these into more growth related stocks or companies with a lower dividend yield. So that's why my dividend payouts in 2024 have not gone up as much as they could have gone up if I was just focusing on dividend investing, which is never really my strategy, as I told you before. But I still ended the year of 2024 with $837.72 in dividends received. And starting 2025, the first month, I received $64.48, which is almost double the amount of 2024. But I did dump a lot of dividend stocks, and maybe I will sell out of my highest dividend payer, Verizon, right now. So if I do so, I do expect my dividend payouts to decline, at least in the short term. But as long as my account values keeps on growing and companies I own do pay out dividends or will start paying out and also hike their dividends, then I believe that in the next few years, even though I'm not fully focusing on just the dividend payouts alone, I will be able to increase the amount of dividends received, and I like to keep track on it. As you can see on the left below, I received more than $39 by now, so that is a good amount, and I'd like to see that grow. So we'll see what it brings, and I plan to make a video of my dividend payouts each month to keep you updated. Last but not least, let me share my dividends received in a bar chart. Like I said, in 2021 and 2022, I was not really focusing on dividends, which is visible in the chart. In 2023, I started focusing more on buying dividend stocks, and you see a huge jump going from 2022 into 2023. In 2024, I almost doubled the amount of dividends of 2023, even though I was less focused on dividend, and I even sold some dividend stocks. In 2025, we only have 1 month until now, but I hope to see it grow even beyond the dividends received in the last year and to keep this going every year. Even though I am not fully focusing on dividends, it would be nice to still see the dividend amount growing until I reach my goal of the beginning of the video. That's it for today. Please like, please subscribe, and thank you for watching.